Okay, so I'm kind of at the mid HV, I would say maybe. Uh, I'm working up to vac nukes. I need more plutoniums. That's why this setup is running. Uh, I'm probably going to follow the SFM tutorial by, oh, what's his name? Uh, Aspect? Yeah, I'm going to follow the SFM tutorial by Aspect. I think there's probably a better computer craft program to write to do this, uh, especially if Steve's Factory Manager is known towards chunk corruption. The other option is probably just to put it in a chunk by itself, which I haven't quite done. Um, I went ahead and made the electronic supercapacitor before I went to Mars, before I really got a great supply of tungsten. That took a while. I'm going to tear the setup down. Probably not tear it down, but move it a little bit because I have a whole bunch of titanium. Just make. I think I need 15 stacks total of plutonium is what I decided. So I've already processed some of it. I think I have like 7 or 8 stacks processed. So I just need half again as much. And obviously it comes from these two, but MOX will be a stable fuel source where I only need to input the uranium here and the just uranium, and then the plutonium gets recycled perfectly, and all the other things get recycled perfectly, except for lapis. Basically lapis and energy will be the only inputs, and of course you have the lazula seeds to grow lapis, so it should be just power. But this should make me 56 amps of EV, no, 52, or 13 amps of IB, somewhere in there. Um, so yeah, that's. Oh, I did a whole bunch of Thalmcraft, which I hate. The magic is certainly magic. Yeah, that's why I have Manasuit revealing these boots of the Traveler and the chestplate. Just helped me get around way easier than it was before. And not much else has changed. I got into the advanced circuit board. I think these two should be swapped based off the materials. This takes gold and electrum, so you'd think it'd be yellow, and this one only takes copper, so it should be the brownish copperish tint of these. So I think those two textures should be swapped. But whatever. We're already deep into GTNH at this point, so it doesn't really matter. I've been looking kind of towards the end game, towards the mid end game. I think I'll be in mid once I get to LUV, be in mid game, and then, or maybe I'm already in mid game. I don't know. The next thing is a whole bunch of AE autocrafting, which I have done before. I went ahead and made all these drives by myself. It was pretty annoying. It took a little bit. And in one fluid drive, which is not quite enough, and I have to be able to make a whole bunch of storage buses and a whole bunch of fluid storage buses, which is just lapis combined with the storage buses. Next, obvious next step, autocrafting. And I forgot to make this full screen, so the recording would be whatever. It'll be full screen from here. I don't normally play in full screen, so that I can pull up other things alongside. Oh yeah, made the TVP. I don't think this was here last time. TVP coils. I have everything to be able to make the next coil tier, but I can't make it yet because I don't have the next assembler. I could make the next assembler. I could power it just barely, but I decided to just hold off on that just a little bit. I'm gonna tear all this down. This is a good setup to kind of automate the quad fuel cells. but I'm going to reincorporate it. Probably, I might try to do it in this volume here, just so I don't have to move the Extreme Entity Crusher. But it's going to be a little bit tight or space constrained because of this. It's a great setup to just create plutonium, because there's plutonium byproduct, and titanium byproduct. So this is pretty good. I sourced all the machines here to their energy tier, so that this reactor basically outputs 2 amps of EV. So I basically set up all of everything here to be able to consume exactly 2 amps of EV if it's constantly running, which it's obviously not. So the MV distillation, the hatches back there. MV, the macerator is just doing stabilized blocks. I went ahead and void those two. If you put an HV macerator here, you can just use the bars and the plates, but otherwise you can just use the blocks. Centrifuges. This was because I was just powering this by itself for a little bit because I thought I had all the plutonium I needed, and I didn't account for a factor of 3. So I thought I had 5 stacks. I needed 15. This crafting bench is pretty good. It looks like I'm actually running out slowly of that. It'll build back up. This is, let's see, I guess kind of as a tutorial. This is MV, I think, yeah, MV, MV, MV. This is LV, I know that. This is MV. This is MV. Basically everything here is MV except for the canner and then the 2 turbo centrifuges that need to be at HV. And obviously the wiring in here is a whole mess. This was to power it initially, so this whole side basically takes, and the distillation tower takes 1 amp, so you can power it off of 1 turbo gas turbine. So that turbo gas turbine I've basically just been moving between there and there. I could make another one, but I really don't want to, even though it's really easy to make the circuit. And I know that part of GTNH is like scaling up and making a whole bunch of stuff, but I didn't really want to do that till I had AE. So that's why we're like that. This, I believe I'll burn if I get close. Yeah, and I had an elevator in there, but turns out elevators burn. So don't do that. I'm planning to do cable anchors. But I'm not quite there yet. And honestly, in that one video by Aspect, he has like 2 more redstone outputs from this SFM manager, which for the minimal setup you really don't need. And technically, you don't need this NOR gate here either, because you could just have all of these on one red alloy thing and then an inverter, and then just output directly to there. Or you could even just skip this entirely. Have basically when it's high, you could invert it in the program. So I'm not sure why exactly he chose this gate. This isn't necessary. By the time I'd realized that and I'd done the analysis myself, I'd already made it. So I was like, yeah, screw it. I'll just stick with that. But you don't necessarily need to make it. It is pretty cheap at this point. So yeah, VAC nukes is going to produce the vast majority of my power until fusion. So it's going to do MOX, and then I'm going to do the core, and oh, that's the magnet. Which one is the? Not that one. Not that. What the fuck is that? Oh, it's a ping. Interesting. One of these. Oh, there we go. Once you get the tier 3 rocket, and you can go to ROS 128 BA, I think is. Come on, let me click on it. BA. Yep, ROS 128 BA. You can get everything that you need for the core. So the core is this thing gives back all of the tungsten steel and all of the naquita that you need in order to make more of the core. So if we go to the core, wait, go back. the core recipe here. You need tiberium as an input, and that only comes from Ross 128 BA. In the same vein that you get Naguda. So this is going to be my power source. And I need all of this you get back. You get back the platinum when you centrifuge things. So basically, you get everything for the core back except for the tiberium, and the enriched nakoda is just created via redox. And so I think you need redox and tiberium, essentially. And I haven't really looked into the redox cycle yet. It seems a bit annoying. This is obviously you get to Barney to see, but I think that's like way later. I don't actually know what tier that is. Ah, Barnarda. Okay, so my bad. Barnard star. Where's the actual planet? Anyway, oh, it's tier 8, so that's Barnarda E. But anyway, the whatever the Raidhawk cycle takes, and I'm not quite sure yet exactly what that's going to take. I guess I can see in the, let's see, Milky Way. Remember how to do this exactly. That's Vega, that's Centauri, that's Proxima. Come on. Anyway, the Bardona, oh, here we go. Bardona A, B. Is this B or is this C? This is C. Okay, so tier 8 rocket. So I can't quite get that yet. So I don't know what I need to do for Radox, but something. Um, something. So the next thing is to pretty much get AE up, go to Ross 128 BA, and get this up and running. And that is pretty much the long-term plan. Did that say LUV? Well, I guess at that point I'll be able to do LUV. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the vac nukes are probably a little unstable, probably a little, whatever. I haven't done them yet. I've just seen the tutorial. I've seen the failure case. I did enough Thalmcraft to get water glass so that failure case is mitigated. This was too much work. You could probably just use a bat box if you're not willing to go and source all of the titanium yourself. Or tungsten, my bad, tungsten. All the tungsten yourself. But yeah, next thing, I'll probably move this back there. Basically, build the base back that way. So again, not that far yet in comparison. Oh, none of my friends have rejoined yet. So let's see. I'm actually playing 5-15 hours. And then let's see. Last scene, you can see this guy rejoined for a little bit, but immediately crashed out. So whatever. And see, 627 total. So I've AFK'd for quite a long time, but apparently I've been actively playing for quite a long time as well. So yeah, that's the base. Not much has changed, but a lot has changed. Again, next thing is to do I really want to do this last quote unquote tier, but I kind of figured I couldn't. So yeah, that's pretty much it.